Improving your balance is the #1 way to prevent a fall in the future. And in today's video, I'm going to show you 5 of my favorite balance exercises that are perfect for seniors and beginners to help you improve your balance and prevent falls. My name is Will Harlow and I'm the Over-Fifties specialist physio here at HT Physio in Farnham, and I've helped thousands of over-50s to improve their balance and prevent falls, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. The problem with most balance exercises that you find online is they're either too difficult for seniors and beginners, they're not safe to practice alone at home, or they fail to cover all of your balance bases, as I like to call them. But don't worry, because in today's routine, I'm going to give you a set of exercises that covers all of your bases. Just before I show you them, they're not going to be suitable for everyone, so do get checked out before you give them a try, and if they cause you any pain, just avoid them. Now, when most people think about balance exercises, they think about exercises done standing. But for many of the people I help, their balance is so poor at the moment, doing standing exercises is dangerous. So the first 2 exercises in today's video are going to be done from a chair. Now, if you're watching this thinking, oh, that's going to be way too easy for me, then fine, skip along the video. But I just wanted to make this for the people who can't stand safely, and hopefully this is going to help you a lot. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on your sitting balance. And the way to do this is to sit on a nice firm chair, but shuffle your bottom forwards so that your back is away from the backrest. That instantly means the core has to switch on. And basically, we're going to be challenging your balance by moving your center of gravity whilst you're seated. So you don't want to have anything around you. You want to keep a nice empty space in this area here. And all we're going to do with our feet firmly on the floor is reach one hand as far as you can over to one side without toppling, and then bring yourself back to the center. Then we're going to go the other way, so reach as far as you can. What's happening here is your center of gravity is now moving outside your body, which means your muscles have to keep you in a balanced position, otherwise you're going to topple. So this also works the core. Now, we don't have to reach perfectly out to the side. You can also try some forward reaches like this, keeping your back nice and straight. You can try reaching up in the air and leaning over to the side as well. But just any kind of movement that challenges your center of gravity, it pulls it outside the body, is really going to help to develop those balance centers. So that's the first exercise. And with all of these, I'd recommend, if they're the ones that you find challenging, work on them for 2 to 3 minutes at a time and come back to it 3 times per day. That's an amazing way to work your balance. Now, if that was really easy for you, we can make it a touch harder with exercise 2. And that's exactly the same, but with one foot lifted off the floor. So I'm going to lift my right foot, and then I'm going to try leaning right. And you can see that's much more difficult for me now because I've lost one of my bases of support. If we go over that way, again, I don't have my foot planted, so it's more challenging for me to keep my balance. We can try going up in the air like this, bringing our center of gravity slowly outside the body and challenging it again, and then down towards the floor over here. And once you've done a number on one side, swap over, lift the other leg, and then repeat. And you can see how this exercise is a really nice way to challenge those balance centers without making you have to stand up and do it in a place that you might not feel comfortable. Now, as a side note, if you're enjoying these exercise routines, you're going to love my lifelong mobility program, which is a library of follow along with me exercise routines available to you anytime, any place, ad-free. Now, if you're interested in that, there's a link in the description below this video where you can read all about it. So once you've tried that, if that was too easy for you, we're going to move on to the next exercises, which are all done in a standing position. So these exercises done in a standing position are best done somewhere I call the safety corner, which is basically any part of your room where 2 walls meet like this. So you've got a corner here. Now, if you stand in this position here and you lose your balance, the worst that's going to happen is you're either going to touch one wall or the other, or if you tip back, again, you're going to touch the wall. So it's perfectly safe to do balance exercises in this kind of a position. And that's exactly what we're going to do now. Now, we're going to do the easiest form of balance exercise first, which is 2 points of support on the floor, but with your feet very tight together. So you're going to stand with your back to the wall like this, feet nice and close together like this. And if you just concentrate in this position, you'll feel already there's probably a little bit of wobble on both feet. And that's just your feet trying to react to the fact that you've narrowed your base of support. They're trying to adapt so that you don't lose your balance. And if you feel your feet kind of doing this, that's a great sign. It means you're challenging your balance enough so that over time it's going to improve. So if you find this difficult, obviously what you can do is have your hands near to the wall just in case you're feeling a little bit unsteady. Take your hands away as you become more confident, and then just stand here as long as you feel you can, up to about 2 minutes. And if this is super easy for you and nothing really is happening, you can make it slightly harder by adding those reaches in that we did when you were sitting. So the way to do that would be to focus your eyes on a far point in the room and reach towards it as much as you can without moving your feet. And when we do this, we're bringing our center of gravity outside of the body, which means that we're challenging our core and our balance centers to correct us all the time. So we're building something called dynamic balance as well as static. Now, many people just practice balance in one position. They stay as still as they can and they don't move. And that's fine. It builds your static balance, but your dynamic balance doesn't really improve. And most of our losses of balance happen when we're on the move, i.e. when we're dynamic. So if we're not building up that dynamic balance, we're not covering all bases and we're leaving ourselves at risk. So that's your close stance. But if you want something harder, the next thing to do would be to switch to a position called tandem. And a tandem position is like this, where you've got one foot in front of the other with the front heel touching the back toes. Now I'm going to stand side on so you can see it, but if you can see my back foot there, it's slightly turning, just trying to keep me in one position, especially as I'm turning my eyes and looking towards you and then back to a different point in the room. That's again challenging me even further. So if you can get into this tandem position, at first just get used to it. If you need to use the wall, do it in this position here. So you're facing out, you've got two hands ready to touch the wall. You can take right down to one finger on both hands if that makes you still comfortable, and then take one finger off and then take the other one off afterwards as well. That would be a great place to start. I would do 30 seconds and then swap legs. So now you're swapping over to your opposite leg. And if this feels super easy, again, you can add in a reach if you want to. You can reach, challenging that center of gravity. Again, your body is going to have to adapt. Your core is going to have to switch on to keep you stable. And it's just a really, really nice way to turn a static balance exercise into a dynamic. Now, I've got one more exercise for you today, which is another dynamic movement, and this one we call the tightrope walk. So this is certainly a progression of the tandem stand. We're going to start in that tandem position. Once again, this time we're going to stand parallel to a wall. So you've got a wall here in case you lose your balance. And then we're just going to walk as if we've got a tightrope in front of us, and we can only go heel to toe. Now, if you can see me walking like this, I'm trying to do it as slowly as I possibly can. That's not just to show you on the camera, that's actually how I would want you to do it at home. Because balance is almost like riding a bike. And if we go nice and fast, the equilibrium stays nice and stable because we've got that forward momentum. But if we slow it down, we almost take away something that's been helping us and we challenge ourselves even more. And that might sound like a bad thing, but if we can challenge ourselves more, that's going to improve your balance more over time. So I'd recommend taking between 5 and 10 steps in a row, really narrow stance. Look how narrow my feet are. It's heel to toe, heel to toe. I'm not letting my feet go wide, and I'm doing it as slowly as possible. 5 to 10 steps in one direction, turn around, 5 to 10 steps back the other way. Repeat that for about 2 minutes at a time. And if you come back to that regularly, it's going to make a huge difference to your balance over time. Now, I reckon it takes probably 1 to 3 months of consistent daily practice to see a change in your balance. It does make sense to do it every day because your balance centers don't get tired like your muscles do. So practice it every day. It will make a massive difference over time if you're consistent, and hopefully you'll notice a difference when you're on your feet and walking as well. So those are some of the best exercises for balance for people who are just getting started and for seniors as well. I hope you found this video useful. If you found this a useful video and you're going to include some of these in your routine, do drop a comment below and just let us know, because it does help us to see whether or not we're close to the mark with this content. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you want more exercises like the ones you found in today's video, I've got tons more to show you in my brand new book, Thriving Beyond 50, the 2024 edition. It's got over 100 exercises inside, 450 pages long, and you can find it by going down below this video and clicking on the link in the descriptions box. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again on the next one.